check the audios real quick, pull it up, and let's see if you guys think you need me to turn you up a little bit.
All right, audio check. 1, 2.
You up a little bit.
Audio check, audio check.
All right, audio check. 1, 2.
You up a little bit.
Audio check, audio check.
Sounds totally good.
Alrighty.
There's like a feedback though, like I'm hearing things twice.
Oh, I was listening to it for a second. That was my bad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so mute the stream now.
All right, perfect. All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of the Snapshot Crucible podcast. My name is Jack. Joining me, as always, my co-host. We got Furley707. How you doing?
How you doing, man?
Once he's done hitting his vape.
Sorry. How you doing, man? Sorry. Wrong mouse, too.
It's all good. And, of course, we got JessTiv, my brother, keeping it real. How's it going?
Doing great, how you doing?
Fantastic. So, obviously, launch week of Forsaken. Lord knows my sleep schedule has been a complete mess. But it's been a very fun week of Destiny overall. A lot of chaos in the Crucible, a lot of chaos everywhere. But I think it's an exciting time going forward for Destiny in general. What are you guys' like initial vibes with like the new weapons and like the new feel kind of going into this year 2 of Crucible?
You first, Jesse?
Sure. Let's see. I think the Crucible is actually in a pretty decent spot overall. I mean, there's obviously some stuff that's pretty annoying, and I'm sure we'll talk about it when we get to that part. But overall, I'm having a pretty good time. Gambit's still really fun. I actually did enjoy my time through the campaign, which is not always that for me, so I'm actually enjoying it really good.
Yeah, I've been having a lot of fun with Gambit mostly, but I like the Crucible a lot more because there is not one standard of meta. It's not Vigilance, Wing, and Graviton Lance 100%. Like,
Yeah, I agree.
Everything can be used and it's viable, it seems like.
Yeah, it feels wide open right now.
Yeah, I would say that definitely over the next few weeks, I think we're going to see a meta settle in. It looks like it's going to be some kind of like shotgun, ace of spades, or shotgun, pulse rifle of choice. I think grenade launchers are going to be the best heavy by a mile. But generally, I like that things are super chaotic right now. Like the TTK is super fast, and it feels like I can go out of my way and just dominate teams again. It feels like before there was no chance for you to be able to like team wipe. But now, I can peek out, get 2 snipes, whip out a pulse rifle or an ace of spades, and it feels like you can clean up a team again. I really like that feeling, just being able to go in and pub stop. I feel like that wasn't really a thing if you were playing solo. Feels like it is kind of back now.
Well, empowered ace of spades is just like really good, like insanely good.
Oh, yeah. You can just go in, just tap one kid that's already in a fight with somebody else and just go off and clear the rest of the team easily with the rest of your bullets.
Yeah, especially with Firefly and the increased reload speed. And also, I'm glad that they brought like hand cannon reloaders back and stuff like that from Destiny 1, which is fun.
Yeah. So, obviously, Forsaken was not just like a, here's the DLC. There was actually a hot fix. And there is some stuff to talk about in terms of what got changed within the Crucible. So, we're not going to be doing patch notes the entire podcast like last time, if you saw the Lost pilot, as we're calling it. This is just some real quick notes about some playlist changes, and then we're just going to move on, and we're just going to talk about how the Crucible's feeling for, however long we want. So, let's go ahead and change overlays, and let's take a look.
Alrighty.
And then it's pretty much right at the top of the page, by the way, that the patch notes are. It's just right there in the sandbox.
Yep.
Or in the Crucible, rather, sorry. Okay. So, big changes in competitive are that they pretty much retuned how the glory ranking works. Now it's like you gain a lot less, but you also simultaneously lose a lot less points. And then the overall cap of points per rank has been reduced. So the overall climb has been condensed. There's a lot less of like, it feels like it's going to take you 2 years to get up rank by rank. Also, the loss streak has been removed, which thank God. Loss streak was like, whoever decided that was the thing was a terrible idea. So thank God that's gone. A big note is that Glory Decay is back for the top end of the rankings. Once you get past Legend, which is like the halfway point, if you don't play competitive consistently, your rank will start to decay after a week. And that's pretty much the big notes. Other than that, Clash and Control has been added to the competitive playlist, and then also the PlayStation exclusive maps from Year 1 were also added into the general map pool. That's pretty much it as far as those hotfix goes for Crucible.
One of those maps is straight doo-doo.
Oh god, no, it's terrible.
What map?
The roundabout one?
Retribution.
Retribution? I don't know. Is that a year one map?
Yeah, it was a
Yes.
PlayStation exclusive. It was just literally a roundabout map. You meet in the middle and it's just a giant circle. It's horrible.
Clusterfuck.
I think I remember playing this the first day of the DLC and going, man, of all the maps you could have brought back.
It's not a brought back map.
Oh, this is not a Destiny 1 map.
No.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, but Retribution is just terrible. Wormhaven, which is the one that's set on Titan, is actually a pretty decent map. I like it. It's a little bit small. I think the big problem with quick play right now is that Destiny 2 maps are just too small in general. They were designed for 4v4. And bumping it up to 6 players is straight chaos. You know, it just doesn't work on a lot of the maps. So it's a real shame.
Now, they definitely need to bring some bigger maps or something, like rework some of the ones they have now, add more lanes, add just more.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, a simple fix would be bring a bunch of the Destiny 1 maps back because they're all designed for 6v6.
That's a good
Yeah,
point.
and then make like a sixes playlist. And it's just all D1 maps. And we have 4v4s for quick play that's on the
Or
D2
just
maps and some of the
Can
D1 maps.
4v4 and shelf some of the Destiny 2 maps for rework.
Yeah, that's a tough one because I think 4v4 and competitive actually isn't that bad, and I kind of like it.
I meant quick play only, sorry.
Right.
Yeah, they're definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be nicer to see a quick play map pool, but also people are going to want to be able to practice on the same maps they're going to go into competitive on.
For sure.
It
I don't
just
think
seems
there's
like,
an easy fix, but it does seem 6v6 is really hectic on a lot of these maps.
Yeah, it seems like, and I know, Jess, you brought this up on the last episode, and it's a fantastic point. You can't take just parts of a system. They're taking parts of D1 and trying to fit it into D2, but the parts with D2 clash with the parts of D1. It's either you need to adopt one system entirely and then make new features to go with one system, or try and find a way to blend the two. But like what they're doing is they're just picking stuff out and putting it in without taking the time, it seems, to make sure that they work. You know? It's just like there's a big conflict amongst a bunch of these changes with how the D2 systems already work.
So I don't know if you left that open ended or something. Sorry, no.
Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, I
Something.
think you got some, Jess?
No, go ahead.
Okay. I think the other big problem with quick play right now is, well, and this is just the game in general, is there's too much heavy. Heavy ammo is just rampant in the Crucible. It's all over. It feels like even in competitive, there's like 7 or 8 spawns in a game of TDM. It's ridiculous.
Well, we should talk
in-
about it competitive exclusively just for the fact that it's ridiculous how much. I mean, there's a guy that can just run around with a grenade launcher and have ammo the whole game.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are
it's just
teams
all
that
over.
strictly base that or keep circling and playing the heavy, play the heavy, play the heavy.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to give them props for the playlists that are in the competitive. Like, there's like a skirmish TDM playlist and a control playlist, a 4v4 control playlist. I think those are great additions, but like, come on, there should be like 1 heavy ammo spawn, maybe 2. But right now it's 6 or 7. It's crazy.
Yeah, the thing is and this is where me and Jesse definitely differ, is I don't mind heavy as long as it's not like there's so much that it's everywhere. I feel like heavy can be used as a way to be like, this is a game changer, or this is something you can use to secure a victory. Like if you're behind and you get like the 1 or 2 heavy spawns, suddenly you have a way to change momentum. Conversely, if you're already winning, you could use heavy as a way to double down. I don't mind heavy as a concept, but when it's like you're already getting stomped and the team just controls the 7 heavy spawns and you just get spawn trapped to hell, because the spawns right now, especially in control and TDM, are horrible. It's just like I just want to throw my mouse and keyboard away and stop playing. It's endlessly frustrating.
I'd say it's more often that the team that's winning pins down the heavy than the team that's losing comes back with the heavy. I'd say it's 99% of the time it's the team who's winning is just dominating the heavy.
There's almost no chance of coming back if they're dominating playing
I
it.
doubt that you're going to be able to swing games with heavy.
Yeah. I mean, you're
Yeah.
gonna be able to do with your alt, but then again, they have the heavy. You're erased. There you go, right out of your super.
I mean, we played a game where one guy carried his team ridiculous, had like 40 kills, and I'd say 20 of them were grenade launcher kills. It's like, dude,
Yep.
it's ridiculous.
Yeah, and we brought it up on the last episode. It's still ridiculous to me that they buffed grenade launchers. Grenade launchers were already standout as the best power weapons in the game because of like the versatility of stuff like play of the game. And then now you gave play of the game the capability of not just getting 2 confirmed kills.
Oh,
it's like unless
4.
you're it's
Four
4.
guaranteed hip fire kills. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have to ADS with that weapon. You can just run around hip fire and get 4 kills and run back to the heavy and get some more.
And then I don't see a whole lot of people talking about this, but tracking rockets are back. Those weren't a thing in Year 1 Destiny, but you can get tracking on rocket launchers again. And that's what made rockets real
Somebody
bad.
got a tracking and cluster bomb roll, and it's like, okay, well.
Yeah. I've seen
What's up,
that.
Galahorn? How's it going?
Yeah, it's just ridiculous. What, you have the two-tailed fox that has one or both tracking technically, and then legendary ones can get tracking, and like you said, cluster, which is just ridiculous. You get one guy running away back to his teammates. He brings the rocket with him.
Yep.
Right.
And then two-tailed, I'm not so worried about that because its tracking doesn't seem as hardcore as the Truth, which will forever be the worst tracking rocket in the history of Destiny. And plus, you know, it's an exotic. It has to have something. But legendaries that can get tracking in cluster is just ridiculous. That's a step past God roll. That's just like if you don't have it, you can't compete in terms of rocket launchers. You know? Just
Like,
invalidates all their rolls.
That's a god roll, right? Like, people should be using that, but nobody's using it because grenade launchers are so much better.
More ammo.
And you get 4,
Yep.
which is crazy.
Unless you're that guy with Wardcliffe who just wants to shotgun an entire room of 6 people.
And yourself.
Yeah.
Right. Take yourself with it, kamikaze style.
Yeah, it's just like I feel so jaded on this Crucible right now because there's so much of it I like and so much of it I enjoy. But it feels like at the same time, they accidentally ramped up the amount of bullshit. And it feels like as someone who tries to play, I mean, yeah, not to like step on like my high horse or anything, but I try to play with like skillful weapons and try and like master weird and obscure loadouts. I don't like playing the meta usually. It's frustrating to just get grenade launchers, shotgunned, you know, people spamming 150 hand cannons so you don't even have to aim, and you know, pulse rifles still being incredibly dominant. It just feels like there's a lot of cheese in this meta, and I don't like cheese. Nobody likes the cheese, unless you're the guy using it.
Like, I'm not even mad at shotguns, and shotguns are so good right now.
jeez.
But it's just the grenade launchers, man. They're crazy. Like, I can at least deal with the guy running at me and shotgunning me every game. I can put on a shotgun myself, but heavy is, you know, like one guy can dominate the heavy. I can't pull out a grenade launcher and go secure the heavy myself every time.
Yeah.
I mean, there is one, but you got to sacrifice your exotic if you want to run. What is it called? The Fighting Lion. Then there you go.
Fighting Lion.
But it's still.
Not
Do you want to
strong.
sacrifice that exotic for that one weapon?
Well, and it doesn't one shot, so you have to be able to
It's not a
combo.
one-hit kill, yeah. I mean, it's good. Don't get me wrong, but it's not as good as like play the game or something, or
No.
any of these grenade launchers now that have proximity.
Yeah. And it's like, in general, it's just the heavy economy, like we've been saying. It's just too much. And I think it's going to get to the point where it feels like you're not going to be able to win games unless you win heavy. And nobody really likes that, I don't think. I don't think that's a fun Crucible. It's never been when it was like that in D1, that's for sure.
Definitely not.
And now it's like we have that same problem, like ramped up to 10. And then we also got... machine guns are coming back. Machine guns are coming back in December, and those were the best heavies by a country mile in D1. So what's Crucible going to look like with machine guns? Because those guns were impossible to balance, in my opinion.
I'd be surprised if you got people off of the grenade launchers, barring there was no changes. Because even though the machine guns are good, like you have to at least aim. It takes 3 or 4 bullets. Like, you do not have to aim with these grenade launchers.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, you got play the game with Rampage now. You get one kill right there, you can just literally shoot the wall right next to anybody, and they're dead.
Yeah. It's 4 guaranteed kills 99% of the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just not good. So,
So
kind of
Bernie.
trying to transition away to some more positive aspects. I think that, honestly, now that we've had more time to play with the ammo economy, and maybe it's just because I'm super aggro and die a lot, I like being able to pull out the sniper and hit my 2 shots, then move in with the hand cannon or pulse. I actually really like the flow with that. I think that the hand cannons in the game right now are actually a lot of fun. I think Ace of Spades is probably one of the best exotics that we've ever seen in like any version of Destiny. This gun is insane.
That's awesome, Bernie.
It's really cool too because it was just straight useless back in D1, and now that it's back for Cade, it's a fucking dominant gun. So, what are your guys' thoughts on Ace?
As somebody that never played D1 and has it in D2, god damn, I never want to put it down. I love it.
Yeah, I think it's
Go ahead.
incredible. I think it's like right on the line of like almost overkill. Like it's almost so good that it needs a nerf, but I think it's good where it is. Just leave it alone. It's great. It's really good.
It's a perfect shotgun counter, in my opinion. Especially you get the 1 kill at a range, and then you get a shotgun guy pushing you, just 2-tap him. There you go.
If you have charged bullets, it is a straight shotgun counter. I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it is unfortunate that you have to rely on getting the first kill. I mean, if you're getting spawn trapped, which we should talk about spawns in a minute here, because spawns are fucked right now in quick play. If you're getting spawn trapped, it's going to be tough to get that first kill to be able to shut down shotgunners. I'm not necessarily a fan of that. Like, there should be a hand cannon you should be able to use straight up as a counter to shotguns. It shouldn't rely on something you have to get beforehand.
I mean, quick scoping's really good. Like you can get a guy that's running at you if he's like just stubbornly aping at you with a shotgun, like from
Like
range you can get him. But if he slides around a corner, you're dead for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've run into that a lot when I've just been quick play since I've gotten the ace. It's just I see him running, charging at me every Titan there is, and just like, you're dead.
I mean, yeah, there's no doubt. I think my favorite loadout right now is definitely Ace with the Dreaming City Sniper and then a Linear Fusion. I think Linear Fusions are going to be like the slept on heavy because everyone's going to be running grenade launchers. But you get like 6 shots with a Linear Fusion. That's just 6 free snipes, in my opinion. Yeah. Stuff like Queenbreaker's bow, it's going to be kind of a slept on thing, in my opinion.
I don't know if it's just mine, but I have been getting a little bit of rough hit reg on the linear fusion rifles. I use the Tarantula, and I have been getting some times where it's like, dude, that's on the guy 100% and nothing.
There's still a lot of laggy issues and stuff like that from client base. The servers are, client base. I mean, they're not necessarily dedicated, so that still could be a major thing you're running into.
Right.
Well, then, like, why the fuck do we have to play the guessing game? Why can't we see what other people's pings are, man? I was so frustrated about that earlier. I was playing a game. There's a dude teleporting. So he's clearly either overseas or his internet sucks. One, why is there no ping limiter to where if you're over like 125 ping, you just get kicked? Why is that not a thing? And then two, why can't I tell that guy's lagging before I get in the first gunfight? He teleports around the corner and I instantly die because his damage is finally hitting me. It's ridiculous. Like,
just
it's so
make it
frustrating.
toggleable. Like, why can't it be a toggleable option? Like, you still get to save face. Like, all the noobs have no idea it's there. In the hardcore community that wants to know what our ping is there. Like, you get to save face a little bit with the majority of the community, but, come on.
It seems like they're desperate in the matchmaking. We're like, oh shit, we can't find anybody in our area. Let's link you over to somebody in China. Like, no, let's not do that. Let's keep it a little bit more locked. Anything 100 ping you can't matchmake into. Like,
yeah, and I think right now with the player population, you can do that. There's a very healthy amount of people playing Crucible and playing Gambit and playing competitive. I mean, at most, I think you'd have a situation where it's like maybe like Rainbow Six Siege, where they have this like niche 60-something thousand player community, and that means you still get like at worst a minute queue. But you do get to play against people who aren't in South Korea. Like, that's a fair sacrifice, in my opinion. I don't mind waiting an extra 30 seconds for a better quality game.
Yeah, one that you're not going to rage at the first second and hate and then probably back out because there's no penalty to quick play back out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, server problems have been a problem since Destiny 1. Like, most people who were in the higher, like, they had, like, an elo system in Destiny 1, and most people that were up there, I mean, you're playing the guys from Europe constantly. If you're playing anytime after 5 o'clock, it's just ridiculous.
But yeah, but at least you could see that they were red bar or yellow bar. You at least knew. You had that information.
Didn't make it any less frustrating, though.
Right. But, I mean, at least knowing is better than having to play the guessing game.
I agree.
And then,
rewarded.
I guess I'll just transition back to exotics for a second because I finished up the Chaperone quest line pretty early on, and unlike Furley, I didn't just scrap it immediately. And I don't normally play shotguns, But the Chaperone is a ton of fun. This is one of those guns where I always thought in D1 it would be so much more fun if we got to see it on PC, and having it brought back now is just awesome. The gun is insane in the right hands. That's definitely not my hands, but every once in a while I just pop off, drop 3 headshots, and feel like an absolute fucking god. So it's cool to see like fun exotics back.
I didn't just throw it away right away. Let me just put that out there. I'm getting raid ready,
Clarify.
bro. I'm getting raid ready for Friday. Like, I need to make my life. I'm not going to be using that shotgun in the raid. Let's be real.
No way.
Right. But what if it's actually the best raid gun in the game? You just don't know. That extra range, dude. What are you gonna do?
It's a shotgun. I mean, let's not even get into raid. We're not here for that. That's not what we do here, though. But still,
It's a different show.
But yes,
I'm
either
actually
way.
working through it right now, so I have no opinion yet.
I didn't even give it one click. I'm like, oh, sweet, exotic highlight level and infused.
Yeah. It's actually like my backup loadout for when I'm just pissed off and don't want to snipe is Chaperone, and then the new Gambit hand cannon, the 180 archetype that's not the exotic. And I gotta say, this is probably one of the few 180s that I actually don't hate. It's called Trust, and I got a pretty alright roll. I got Outlaw and Hipfire grip on it with accurized rounds. It's actually a pretty decent hand cannon. My big problem with the 180s before was the recoil felt so weird on all of them, but this one is like really smooth. I feel like a lot of the new 180s are actually pretty intuitively to use, and they kind of feel like, I know it's like joke clickbait, like mini last word, but it kind of feels like a mini last word.
Just stop with that.
I have no word on that. I never
If
played
it's
D1.
not the last word, it's not the last word.
It's never coming back. I'm just
Dude,
giving up hope at this
I'm
point.
so bummed that it's not in the game.
I gotta say something though. Are you sure that it won't be though? Because the fact that in
No,
the
it could
story,
be in the raid or something.
how many times did they say I have the last word in the storyline? Like there was 3
It's like a
instances.
straight meme.
I feel like it's just Bungie fucking with us, like, yeah,
Two
we know
tokens
you
in a
guys
blue.
want the last word, but it's not going to come back. Just stop.
Yep, good old 2 tokens and a blue troll.
Oh, there's an outside chance. Like, I mean, the Drifter is straight up. Well, actually, there's some stuff that might be refuting what I'm about to say, but I'm gonna say it anyway. The Drifter is straight up Shin Malfur, the guy who owns the last word. And, you know, this is a Western expansion. It couldn't have been a better time to put it back in the game. So it's like, it's a little weird that it's not. Like, what's a better time to put in the last word than the Western expansion? You know what I mean?
I wouldn't be surprised if it's like a Gambit exotic quest or a raid exotic quest. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. But other than that, I mean, might as well just turn it over at this point. What are some of your guys' favorite weapons in the Crucible right now? Some standout new weapons that you're using, like good rolls, snipers, anything that you guys are really liking to use?
The one that you're gonna see most of right now, go figure. The 4-round burst pulse, they're just tearing it up right now. I got one with Outlaw and another one with Rapid Fire. So it's like a Vigilance wing basically, but legendary. It's just nuts. That's good if I want to work on the pulse rifle quest, but like I said, I'm still using the Ace of Spades, which is still in the same kinetic slot. So depending on the way I look at it when I go into a Crucible match, first few like rounds of killing or whatever, I see what their loadouts are, and I might adjust and switch my weapons up. But 9 times out of 10, there's still a shotgun in play, and I hate it.
Yeah, I mean, running through the Chaperone quest, I've been using the shotguns for the first time, and I've been using Ace of Spades and a blue aggressive frame shotgun that has rifled barreling and one other rangeberg, and it's just dominant. Any aggressive frame shotgun is just super dominant. I'm just surprised that I'm having people. I'm not even meleeing half the time because I'm just assuming that I'm going to get the kill, which is like that doesn't happen. Like in Destiny 1, it was always shotgun melee, but now it's like, dude, shotguns are going to get the kill like 90% of the time. And Ace of Spades dominant, and it has probably a little too much range. Like the fact that I can use a hand cannon and a shotgun and not be punished very much is pretty crazy.
Yeah. The thing I'm vibing with most right now is I've been running either Ace of Spades and the Dreaming City Sniper, and I can't remember its name right now. It's totally escaping me. But it's a rapid fire sniper, which normally I'm not about. I don't really like the rapid fires at all. But the scope is, it's a lower zoom than what's called short gaze, and it has a wider field of view. So it's pretty much like perfect for me. I like it a lot better than short gaze personally. I know it's like blasphemy in the eyes of Jesse, but you don't say it anyway. And it's got Snapshot, which is my preferred look at the title, my preferred perk on snipers. And I've just been running that with Ace of Spades or the Gambit Pulse Rifle Bygones. And the Gambit Pulse Rifle is dirty. I don't really like playing Pulse Rifles that much, but this one feels really good at like all ranges. So I don't mind running Pulse Rifle every now and again when like people are playing 2 range for me.
I've been using the Crucible sniper a lot. It's really good. I got one with Snapshot and a good scope, a good low zoom scope. And it's super solid. I mean, I still do not understand why there's no short gaze, no ambush, and no long view on any legendary sniper.
D1 perks, I take it.
They're on blue.
scopes.
They're on blue snipers in year 1, and there's one sniper in the game that has a short gaze scope. It's a green sniper, but it's a rapid fire frame, which is a bummer.
Is that the one that Hawthorne had that you were telling me about, Lion?
Yep. The Luna Nullus 3 or something.
Never got it.
You get like most people got it like early in the game. It might be in your collections if you take a look.
True.
Yeah. I will say, I know it's like, it's weird not having short gaze and ambush and all that from you just being someone who plays so much D1 like you, Jess. But so far, I think they've made the proper move, and it seems like all of the like serious snipers that aren't specifically PvE like built, their scopes, although they're custom, seem to be designed for Crucible. They seem to be short zoom, wide FOV, low clutter. Like, it seems like they're just designing custom scopes because that's what the art team wants to do. But it's not like D1 where it's like anything other than those 2 scopes was useless because it was too long of a zoom.
Well, the Hawkeye
so I'm like, I don't really mind it.
The Hawkeye scopes were all on D1, and the Omlone scopes were all on D1 as well. So it's not like they didn't bring any Destiny 1 scopes back. They just didn't bring the main ones back.
Right. I just don't think it's that big of a deal personally. I think that the scopes that they've added
not
are
the end of the
pretty
world.
good.
I just don't like any of this. I don't have a scope I like, which bums me out.
Right. I do want to see the Iron Banner weapons are viewable in the collections, and the Iron Banner weapons look insane. Like, visually look just unreal. So I'm curious to see. Iron Banner is on the 18th, which is a little over a week from now. Next reset, actually, will be Iron Banner. And Iron Banner also is going to have light level advantages. So I think Iron Banner is going to be an interesting week for Destiny 2 Forsaken. So we're going to see what those new weapons look like. It's going to be pretty interesting, I think.
That light level is definitely going to be key. You're going to get a bunch of kids that are just like not worried about the power grind, where you get kids like us that like can just slap kids around because we're going to be at least 10, 15 ahead of them. Going to be able to eat more damage by far.
Well, normally, Jess, you got some?
Yeah, I agree. Level advantage is a bummer. It was always like that in Destiny 1. And, yeah, it just sucks because, like, I'm a PvP pretty much only guy. Like, I don't play a lot of PvE content, so I'm definitely under-leveled. I'm barely over 500 light. So by the time Iron Banner comes and everybody's done the raid and everything, and everybody's like 550, I'm just going to get shit on.
Yeah, it's going to be rough.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, and I actually really like this change. I was talking about it with you yesterday, Jess. It seems like they've made some moves to make it not so punishing for PvP only players. Like, when you rank up in quick play or gambit or competitive, the light level or the item drops you get are power leveled. They're light level, they're like powerful drops. Yeah. And, you know, if you play long enough, you get a consistent amount of powerful drops from constant rank ups, especially in Gambit. You could power level playing PvP only now. That definitely was not a thing before.
Yeah, between that and the Prime Ingrams that you get too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know if I will be there by the time Iron Banner gets here, though.
That's fair.
No, you're definitely missing out on some light grinding there, but you're still able to get up there, no problem.
Yeah, Iron Banner will help too. It'll give me some good drops.
Yeah, it's like it's feasible now. Like when we're looking at the end of this expansion, we're looking at the first annual pass drop in December. It's pretty likely if you play a consistent amount of Crucible and you play PvP only, you could be 600 light. Like that's a possibility now. And, you know, I think that's a good thing. That's a great change to the overall economy, in my opinion.
Agreed.
Yeah.
All right, you guys got anything else you want to cover as far as the Crucible? What you're feeling?
Do you want to talk about the competitive playlist changes?
Yeah, we can talk about them a little more in depth.
The game modes in general, like where
I haven't touched it.
Countdown and stuff.
Yeah. I think radar being back in competitive, firstly, just I think no radar could have worked, and I really wanted it to work, but Destiny doesn't have the proper like back end for it, if that makes sense. There's no good foundation for footsteps and like sound cues. Yeah, I know
Yeah.
sound whoring is something people look down upon, but when you have no radar, you kind of need there to be some form of sound whoring.
No, sound horn is not a thing. I'm take it from me as somebody that competed 15 years in Counter Strike. I can hear a nade from 2 buildings across that got thrown or some shit or somebody reloading through the building. It gives
Yeah.
me more because you're not going to see a person on the radar in Counter Strike, or even if somebody's just walking by, you're not going to see a blip on your map. You have to rely on audio cues. So
Yeah,
like,
in a game like this, where there's full radar and the radar back on now, and it's constant radar, I don't think you need sound cues.
no, now definitely with the
Yeah.
radar on, I agree. But if in competitive they wanted to do it with no radar, they had to rework the audio system, and that's just way too much work for them, in my opinion.
Yeah,
Not
for
even
sure.
just the audio. I think it would need like a full renovation because you got to think about also stuff like lighting, backgrounds, how you make player visibility a thing.
Hmm.
Because we're used to the fact that there's like scopes like Jade Rabbit and on a bunch of guns that highlight players. That kind of remedies the fact that this game kind of has like an overall kind of dark color palette, especially with Guardians. There's a lot of Guardians who just straight up blend in, especially when you're like small hunters like slinking around the shadows. So like not having that extra layer of information with the radar can just be such a pain in the ass. Like I feel like sometimes in the old system, someone would run up on us, and I wouldn't even be able to tell where I was getting punched from because it's just like it's too quick to be able to figure out where they are or like where specifically they are.
Yeah, but that also, I mean, comes down to the player. You're not gonna most of the time you're not running into that type of player, but it still happens, and it's not fun.
Yeah, I
Can we
do
talk about
think.
control coming back? I don't see how control can be a competitive game mode.
I'm torn on it.
Mm,
I just don't see how 4 players. I mean, you're just going to get dominated. Like, there's going to be no comeback. It's just going to be one team's going to hold both zones, and you're going to get spawn trapped. That's the problem with control is that you can stick enemies into one area, and they can't get out as long as you don't push all the way to their spawn.
yeah, I agree. Countdown and just the team deathmatch are the only two I think that should be for competitive right now.
I agree.
Yeah.
And those two are great. I think team deathmatch is good. Probably needs to lower down the kill like amount of kills you need. It should probably be like 50 instead of 75.
I don't
But
even think it's
Countdown's
75.
great. It's like
No,
65 or something like that.
no, it's not even that. If you, it's what is it?
I think it's like 80 plus. I had a game that went 80 plus kills.
It's
Well,
definitely over 50. I think it should be around 50.
you're talking
Yeah, it
about in
should be
quick
50.
play though, not in competitive.
No, competitive.
No, competitive.
In competitive TDM, you have your 4 lives, and then you have 6 backup lives, and you can res each other.
No, that's survival.
No, there's
for
survival,
They added
okay, yeah, yeah.
Clash.
Ah, I got you. I got
Added
you.
a TDM, like a skirmish game mode. It's really good.
I didn't
Yeah,
even.
they pretty
yeah, I
much
didn't know
added
that.
skirmish.
I don't like survival, so either bring back elimination, which is like it's like search and destroy with reses, but there's no bombs.
Okay. Yeah, I never played
Elimination is just
NP1.
better survival.
Yeah, it is better survival.
Okay.
But yeah, so they brought back Control and then
Yeah.
TDM, and I'm always torn on it because Control is one of my favorite game modes, like universally across all games. So I'm a little bit partial because I actually really like the game mode. I think it works in Destiny generally, but it kind of comes back to the big issue with quick play and competitive in general, and that it seems like spawns are incredibly fucked in non-round based game modes. Like the spawns are just it's weird. You'll spawn next to enemies. I think Furley the other night you spawned and then 3 other enemies spawned right next to you
Yep.
because
I
of a
was
weird
able to
spawn
kill
flip.
one, and then the other 2 were spawning as they were falling, just demolished me. Like I didn't even have time to do anything.
Yeah. Like, there's just a lot of weird spawn fuckery right now, and I think it kind of ruins the pace of quick play, and it bleeds over into competitive when you have game modes like TDM and mic control. And then, I think if you reduce heavy, control becomes a lot less spawn campy, because as soon as you capture the B point, which is usually where the heavy spawn is on all the control maps, yeah, obviously you're just going to steamroll because you'll have heavy control the entire game. But I think if you
Yeah.
reduce heavy, it's a lot less likely.
I still think spawn trap is a problem. Like any 4-man squad can spawn trap 100% effectively. Like you do not have to go into their spawn, and they will keep spawning at their flag.
True. I mean, there's a way I was thinking the other day with the heavy and spawn trapping is if, because there's a dedicated spot always for the heavy. It's the same spot. If it was just more randomized around the map, it would draw people away from the spawns more as well. So you wouldn't run into as many people trying to spawn trap you, in my opinion. Maybe one or two. Definitely going to happen no matter what. But if the heavy was always rotating around to different spots on the map, it would definitely widen that out.
I like the idea of random heavy spawns. I like the idea of there being like maybe 3 or 4 spots on some of the bigger maps, maybe like 2 or 3 on the smaller maps, and having heavy be like on a rotation.
And
I don't think that's a bad idea at all.
And not like a one people can figure out the pattern. It's going to be randomized. It has to be randomized every single match. It can't be like, oh, we know it's going to be beach and then it's going to be cliffs and then no, it's got to be random every time.
Yeah, it'd have to be 100% random, but I do think that could work.
Yeah, and then obviously just reduce the amount. Come on,
I was just thinking
no
about it, and I was just like, you would draw people away from the spawns that much quicker. Like, just 1 or 2, whatever, you can deal with it, and then there you go.
Because, like, here's my thing. I don't hate heavy as a concept. I know Jesse would prefer if heavy was just out of the game, and I totally see where he's coming from.
At least out of competitive, man.
And if you want to bring that up,
like
I would say no supers in competitive and just strictly a gun-based game.
Yeah.
I
Like, we all
wouldn't
have those
disagree with that
preferences.
either.
Fucking Dawnblades.
Yeah. So, oh yeah. Speaking of supers, we should talk about the new subclasses. Obviously, I think that's a big thing to miss out on. I mean,
Missed it.
There's so much fun. As a hunter right now, I cannot be happier. Finally, a Void class is one of my favorites. We finally have a PvP-based Void rather than just canceling everybody else's super.
Are you having hit reg problems with that? I was using the Spectral Blades, and I was having some times where I'd hit a guy and he only take half damage.
Yes. The tracking, it seems like you were only hitting him to the side, like you weren't hitting his full hitbox for some reason. I'm like, but that's the thing is you can keep slicing and dicing. So it made me think
it's super fun. But the hitbox is a little like wonky right now.
Well, seeing how you can slice and dice so fast and so quickly, I think that's a thing. What you're getting a one-hit kill is on a precision hit. When you're hitting a body hit, it's not a one-hit kill. That's what I think was going on after I kept doing it a few times. Because it kept happening in one match a few times. I'm like, why am I not getting one hits? And I'm like, oh, I think the precision kills are the reason why they're one-shots. So that could be a thing.
So you think it's intentional?
It might be, because how fast you can just go slice, 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 slice all over the fucking place.
It is super fast, and you're invisible forever. Like, if you like right click, you're invisible again.
Yeah,
and
that's a
one
hit
through walls.
And that's a one-hit kill too when you right-click, because that's a heavy hit, as they call it. So if you go right into somebody's face and right-click them, you go invisible and get a one-shot kill.
Definitely harder to hit, though, for sure.
Yeah. And then also, the hunter with the blades. Oh, dude!
Yeah, I've been using that one. It's really good.
Weeb Hunter is pretty dope. I don't even like Hunter, but that's a pretty dope subclass.
I don't know what grenade to use. I'm so torn on because I really love trip mines and D1, but I feel like incendiary grenades are probably better.
Yeah, I think with that one too, because if you kill somebody with a burn, it also gives you your throwing knives back. So if you have that trip mine nade going and you hit them and they're burning and you kill them, you get your throwing knives back, which is 3 throwing knives. And then if you're running, what's the name of the chest plate again?
Ophidian Spath.
Yeah, I threw it on today. You basically get 6 throwing knives because you get 2 of them.
Yeah.
And they're one-shot kills.
I need to get that chest piece because I've been maining Hunter. I played Warlock through the first time, but I didn't like the Void Super that much. So I started to go to Hunter because I wanted to do Spectral Blades because it's so much like Arc Blade in Destiny 1. So I was like, this shit looks great. And it was good, but I do think the knives are even more fun.
Definitely.
What I like about... What I like about all the supers in general is it seems like they kind of like they picked a golden rule of let's add 1 defensive super to each class and then just 2 fun ones to every class. Like every single class got 2 fun supers, 1 defensive one. I think that's a pretty cool way to do it.
Oh, 100%. Every single one. You got the Hunter has the arc one now where the staff you swing it and reflect damage. The Titan, of course, always has its shield, which is actually really fun. I was talking with Star earlier.
Weapons of Light.
Yeah, we were in Crucible, and he was in front of me, and I was saying, hard left, hard right, go forward, or like guiding his shield, and we were just tearing through people as nobody could touch us. As long as you have that communication and like the chemistry together, it was easy just to run through with that. And I just unlocked the, what was it called? The Well of Radiance for the Warlock. Yeah. You don't die. You don't die.
Yeah, that thing's really good, but you have to put it in like a good spot.
It's good for control, like say B point, and you want to control the
super
heavy.
good for
There you go.
control. Yeah.
It's pretty much just like a bubble that you can shoot out of.
Yeah.
So that's how I like to think of it.
That's true.
Yeah, but it's like an offensive almost because you get that damage buff.
Yeah, it's like an offensive bubble.
With the speaking of the damage buff, I was with the Ace of Spades on the buff and in a Well of Radiance, one-shot headshotting people, no problem.
No, tell me that's not a thing.
Yes, it was a thing. It happened twice in a row.
6 bullets. You got 6 on the Memento Mori, and you can just start just one tap.
I guarantee you, Lion doesn't believe me, but I wasn't streaming it. 2 people in a row, full health, came around the corner, pop, one shot, pop, one shot. I was like, this is broken.
I'm just suspect of if they were full health or not.
Well, I got 2-tapped a couple times by the Ace of Spades empowered, and I didn't know if that was like maybe I was just a hair weak and didn't notice, but I felt like a couple times I got 2-tapped.
Yeah, 2-taps happen all the time with the buff, but in the Well of Radiance, I definitely got a one-shot headshot with full health player on double buff.
Well,
that's rad.
How about this? We'll record it and we'll have it as a clip for the beginning of the show next week.
Yeah, we'll run some tests to make sure and see how close. But he might have been chipped away by somebody else at the same time I shot, but from my perspective, one-shot headshot, and then the next guy came in, same thing.
Definitely sounds insane. I'll give you that.
The good thing about that is there is not a lot of people using that class.
No. I mean, we got people
I think
like...
you'll see it a lot in competitive.
Yeah, we got people like Star, who is a good buddy of ours. He mains Titan Bubble, so he's always a defensive player. We're breaking him, and he's slowly getting more into Crucible again. But, like, say, if he was a Warlock main, he would 100% be using that.
Yeah, I think you would see more of the Titan, like you were saying, guiding the Titan with the shield around, because that seems better and competitive than just dropping a well down.
Oh yeah, because you can take it anywhere you want, and as he takes more damage, the shield gets bigger, so you can have more people behind him too.
I remember in D1, Weapons of Light was actually really insane in skirmish. People used it all the time. So I mean, if you think about it, it's mobile Weapons of Light as long as you're shooting through the shield. You could definitely do some dumb shit with that. I think it's going to be some interesting synergies there.
Weapons of Light was a one-shot body shot and a sniper, so that might be a thing.
Okay, so Weapons of Light in a Well of Radiance with the Ace of Spades buff.
Okay. You don't need to turn the Ace of Spades into a fucking bear at 50 cal, dude. That's too much.
one to the body.
Just demolishing walls in Destiny.
Let's just get the guy Tractor Cannon debuff too while we're at it. Throw in a little heavyweight also. Like, let's just stack all the debuffs. Get a melting point as well.
Throw a smoke on him.
I will say, all of the Titan Supers are ridiculously fun. I mean, speaking about our good buddy Star, the god of all raids, the Bubble Main, he tried out the new Sunbreaker Super for the first time while we were doing Blind Well, which is a new escalation protocol. And his laughs of pure joy sum up exactly how fun that subclass is. Twirling around like a goddamn Beyblade, then just dropping the fucking hammer and destroying like 15 ads at once. The supers they added are just fun.
Pure
They're
fun.
ridiculously fun.
I mean, there's a lot of synergy you can do with them, and we haven't even seen the new exotics. Like, there's one specifically for the spectral blades and stuff, but they're just going to be so much fun. Like, I really want to go and do... This is a PvP or PvE thing, but the Void Tractor Cannon with the spectral blades, that's got to be nuts damage. But, like, it's just... You can choose any of them and have fun. Do anything. No problem now. If you're not locked to, I need to run Top Tree Golden Gun 6-shot in PvP. No, I can run the blades or 6-shot. Whatever you prefer.
Yeah.
Blades. Prefer the blades.
Yes, definitely.
There's no standout best super right now in any activity. Like, all of these new supers shook up the balance. There's going to be stuff that's going to be preferred. Like, in PvE, Tether's probably going to win out, usually for Hunters. There's no doubt about that. But in PvP, it's a use whatever the hell you want kind of situation. There's no standout best subclass.
I do think Spectral Blades would be the best subclass if it was guaranteed one hit all the time. Like Arcblade was in Destiny 1. I think it would be the best PvP super.
Yeah, I could be wrong, but it made me feel that way. They could probably tweak it.
I was
towards
getting
one-shot.
it all the time, so yeah, I think it has to be intentional.
Yeah, especially because the right-click one is a heavy attack.
Right. I mean, I was mainly using the right-click one just to go invisible occasionally, so I didn't really see very much use for it, but I guess it could be just one hits all the time, too.
Mm-hmm.
I will say, I really like that they brought back a single-use Titan Slam, and then just pretty much made it death from above on crack. I mean, there is a there's just a primal amount of joy of rocketing yourself through the air and then one-shotting a major in PvE or destroying an entire group of guardians in PvP. It's a uniquely fun experience.
We have to do something where tactical nuke. You just send you going. But I mean, speaking
Straight
of
up a ballistic missile, dude.
it's ridiculous to watch it.
Dude.
But I
It
will
makes
say,
the airplane helmet even better. That's
Yeah.
for sure. The airplane helmet on Titan is a must with that loadout.
I will say the Warlocks still are, in my opinion, the standout supers because Dawnblade and the Goku, whatever you want to call it, the Kamehameha wave, it's instant and it's pure cross map. There is no range cutoff to it. Like it's almost 100% cross map. You can get somebody with it, and the moment you kill somebody, you can cut it off, and you still have super saved up. Like you're not going to have as much.
Some super energy when you do that.
Yes, you don't waste as much, but you don't get as much back as what. It's kind of weird, but like you don't get a whole lot back, but you can use it and basically like get one kill and still have half. So in my opinion,
sounds
yeah,
really good.
the Warlocks still have the standout supers in PvP. I mean, they can, especially because Dawnblade is just still so broken.
I'm trying to look it up. I'm trying to remember what the name of the exotic is. I was just watching a video about it earlier. There are some great synergy exotics they added for the new supers. For Chaos Reach, the Kamehameha, whatever the fuck you want to call it, Special Beam Cannon, like a million anime things. Whatever. Don't care.
All from
Super Beam.
All right.
There's an exotic boots called the Geomag Stabilizers for that subclass where once you get to like the last like 10th of your super and you start sprinting, it'll faster charge that last 10%, and then doing damage with the super makes it last longer. Not even killing, just damaging bosses will extend its duration. And then killing guardians also really extends its duration. So that's going to be an interesting synergy to see once people actually get it more. I will say, we didn't really talk about this, but exotics are rare as fuck. I think Furley, you only just got your first one today. I've only got one as well.
New exotic, yes. On my Warlock, I actually have 2 exotics. I got Sunbracers and a Wardcliff Coil again recently. But, like, new exotics, yes. I just got my first one on Titan.
Playing PvP almost exclusively 0 exotics.
Well, I
Never gonna
got...
happen.
Actually, I got the Titan legs today from Crucible. From my daily Power Ingram.
Yeah, I've been getting all the Crucible like engrams and stuff, but it's just been legendaries.
Yeah, the drop rate is so much lower, and I have no complaints other than I just want my shit, man. I play a lot.
Let's be real, Xur was a meme for a year and a half because Destiny just threw exotics at you like it was nobody's fucking business. If you rated on each character, you got like 4 or 5 exotics guaranteed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure. I'll do that for sure, 100%.
No, not anymore though. Like that's how it was before Forsaken.
Well, even then, still for him, if he's got exotics he hasn't unlocked, he might as well run some raids, and he can still get those exotics, no problem with the keys.
The
Speaking
day
of which,
Jesse raids is the day I'm skinny.
Yeah, it's just not happening.
shit, we could run a Leviathan raid, no problem being at level 500. You're gonna run through that with just a sidearm, no problem.
It's not the difficulty; it's Jesse's will to live if it'll hold out or not throughout a raid.
It's just the principles, man.
Yeah, it's not a guardian. I ain't shooting it.
Exactly.
I mean, the story is just enough for me, man.
Yeah.
Like I had to run all the stories, and I played PS4 too before PC came out because I wanted to play with my Destiny 1 friends. So I ran the story, like the campaign, like 5-6 times.
Yep.
Felt like
Too
I wanted
much.
to die.
Yeah.
What-
I couldn't do that.
What time are we at?
I've been out 48 minutes.
All right. Well, I mean, there's not a whole lot else that we really need to cover. I think that we gotta like wait a couple weeks to see where the Crucible really settles. You know, get more information on new exotics and god rolls and stuff. I guess we should probably just. I think there's nothing much to talk about. Do you guys got anything like closing that you want to talk about?
No, not much other than we need to figure out where the hell we can get our third supers, because not everybody is going to have a third super on every character. So we're not seeing all the supers used in PvP yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm the same. I'm just excited for everything that's going on right now. I was able to get second super doing the Dreaming City thing, which was tough, but it was fair.
Run with us and we can definitely make it happen a lot easier.
For sure.
I don't understand. Jesse has the weirdest luck sometimes. We ran one wave of blind well and he got a fucking seed of light his first time.
I did that on my Warlock the other day. I joined in with Collad and stuff. I was like, oh shit, let me get in there. Right as it ended, Seed of Light. I'm like, cool, that was fun.
Yeah, it was red. I was so bummed. I was like, all right, let's go. Let's play PvP now.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly. You can have some more fun with it. I mean, that's the thing too. Is they are making you. I'll bring this up while we're closing up statements. Is they are gonna make you still PVE because you unlock the new super. You gotta go fully unlock it. You gotta kill a bunch of shit in the world to get all this shit, and you can't just sit there in Crucible only using it because it's gonna take forever.
Yeah, I've been playing Crucible with the Blade super, and it's just like, dude, this is taking forever to
Yeah,
unlock.
nade kills and throwing knife kills count too, so you're gonna have to go to PvE if you need to progress it.
Well, I didn't even have the throwing knives unlocked. I just
Exactly.
went in with the super with no melee, and was just playing for hours on end, going, man, I'm gonna get this eventually, I guess.
Yeah,
you know?
just relying on nade. But that's the thing is you could just go to like escalation protocol, launch it up on Mars, just kill the thrall there, and just re-instance over and over, and get it done.
Yeah,
quicker.
I didn't even know that it was just like way faster in PvE. I was just playing, going, man, this is taking a while.
Yeah, in PvE, every kill counts towards it. So every nade kill, you can just fast travel. You know, hit a rally a flag. There you goes, all your stuff back. So yeah, you're definitely gonna need 2 PvE to be able to use that fully in PvP.
Well, the thing is that because like very few class abilities actually one shot in Destiny 2, it's gonna end up being slower. Like it would be faster to do it in the Crucible because Guardians give more percent per kill than
It's
PvE.
not faster doing the Crucible. I was literally
Not on
playing
the
Crucible
supers.
for like 3 or
No,
4 hours.
if like grenades and throwing knives one shot is what I mean. It would
Oh,
be
yeah.
faster.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Definitely would. It would be awesome if they added a buff to that in general for people like, say, Jesse. I mean, you're strictly a PvP person. We know this might take a while, but hey, you're killing Guardians. Give a buff, like on the Hawthorne or the Shotgun quest does that too. When you got to get the damage on the arc and all that shit in PvP, if you get super kills on a Guardian, you get more towards that progress rather than weapon damage. It gives you less.
Yeah, the super kills are like bumping that thing up real fast.
And it should do the same for the supers for PvP, strictly based players.
Kind of as my closing thoughts, just kind of bring things to a head. This is probably the first time in Destiny 2 that I really want to just pour a ton of hours into Crucible. As much as like I get tilted really easily by all the bullshit, all the lag, and like too much heavy and spawn traps and all that. Once I cool down and I'm not ready to break my desk in half, I'm like, shit, dude, I just want to dedicate and play Crucible like all day and get better. Because when you play good now, it is so satisfying.
Yeah.
Like when you just fucking drop dimes with a sniper, whip out your hand cannon, wipe the whole team, you're just like, fuck, dude, this is what Destiny is like all about. This is what makes Destiny really addictive and fun. I feel like they brought that addictive quality back. It's just like now we have to get to the point where there's not so much that's gonna like take away from that. I think it's gonna be an exciting start to the year for Destiny.
Yeah, I definitely want to play a lot more this season in comparison. Right now, I'm just focusing on light level high, especially with the light level restrictions in like Iron Banner, or not restrictions, benefit I should say in Iron Banner. Then I'm going to start grinding out comp and all that just continuously because I'm going to run through PvE stuff really fast.
Yeah, no, it feels really good as a Crucible guy. It just feels fun to play, and you know, like before I used to play just hours on end solo with nobody around. Just you don't even need anybody to play with. It was that satisfying in Destiny 1. And it's starting to feel like that again right now.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah. All right, I mean, I think we're gonna go ahead and call it there. You guys can expect us, obviously, week by week. We're gonna be covering what's going on with Destiny 2 Crucible landscape. I do want to throw out a quick disclaimer here at the end of the show. If you're seeing videos going around about exploits and farming methods in PvE, I know we're a PvP show, but I should throw this out there. Be weary about doing any kind of exploits because Bungie is going through and patching them really quickly. And like there was a power leveling exploit found over the weekend that's actually going to hinder you in the next few weeks going forward if you partake in it. So while it's there, I would highly recommend not doing it.
Yeah,
you know, obviously the exploits are dumb.
Let me point out, the exploit is not going to hinder you because of Bungie, it's going to hinder you because of yourself.
Yes.
They're not doing anything to hinder you.
It just stay away from it. Stick to like the you stick to the true path. If
Just
you
play.
see bugs and like game breaking glitches, Crucible or PvE, report them. Let's keep the game in a healthy state. And I think that's that.
Sounds good to me.
All right, guys, that was the technically first ever episode of the Snapshot Crucible podcast. Don't want to talk about it. Anyway, we're going to nail down a concrete time to do this. I know it's been a little weird. We had one episode on Sunday. This episode's on a Monday night. We're going to nail down a concrete time that you guys can expect us every week, and we will announce that over on our Twitter when we figure it out. And then you guys can expect us there every week. We're going to be covering Crucible PvP all the time, and there's going to be a lot to cover, it looks like. Destiny 2 Forsaken for sure seems like probably the strongest expansion Destiny's ever seen, and I'm really looking forward to getting deep into it. Other than that, guys, my name's Jack, that's been Jesse, that's been Furley. You can find all of our links on the panels down below, and we'll see you guys in the next episode.